Okay, so as promised, here's mini art lesson number 2 while we're all trapped on planet quarantine. Today we're going to learn how to scribble. Little scribbles. No drawing lines, just scribbles. Trees are the perfect thing to do little scribbles with, because no two trees are alike. Now, notice we didn't draw the tree out with lines and then come back in and add scribbles. What we did is we're just drawing the whole thing out with scribbles. So you just scribble, and just like the last mini art lesson, when you're creating a piece, the first thing you need to think about is where your light's coming from. Now in this, the light's coming from over here, which means this side of the tree will be darker. And that side of the tree will be lighter, obviously. Trying to keep these mini art lessons pretty short, so you've got more time to work on them. Pack more learning into it, then you got more time to learn, less time to sit there and try to figure it out. I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way so y'all can see how I'm doing it. Just scribble. Now, I want to put some heaviness on this side so the other side looks light. And the darker you go, the more contrast you give it, the more awesome your tree is going to look. Because the bottom line is, without contrast, you just have a flat picture. I've got students that do excellent work, but they're scared of contrast, so their pictures are just kind of, But the ones that aren't scared of contrast, that'll come in here and put this dark in here, their pictures jump off the page. There's a number of things you can do with little scribbles. They're good transitioning while you're regular drawing. But you can draw everything out with scribbles first, and then just add on and add on and add on. But the more, see how you put this dark in here and you got your lights over here? And it's okay to put a couple of dark points here and there on the light side. That gives it texture. And make sure that your limbs don't just stick out and look like lollipops. My mentor taught me this technique. He was at work one day and I was talking to him, and he started scribbling, and I was thinking, what in the world is he doing? And he sat there and he scribbled, scribbled, scribbled. And within a few minutes he had a park, geese flying through the air, ducks in the water, people pushing babies, dogs, a monorail system. I thought that was creative. And I said, So I went home and I started practicing it. A couple of days later I got really good at it. I came back, boastfully said, hey, I'm sorry I stole your technique. He said, you didn't steal that technique, I taught it to you. And I said, oh really? He said, I knew if I told you to do this, that you would do the opposite. Clearly the man knew me well. Okay, so once you get all that in, you can come back in with your detail eraser. Do a little highlights here and there, same kind of thing, give you a little more texture. Kick this up. Back in, stick you little extra ones in here. Stick this little grass coming out of the back over here. And you can come in and scribble you some ground in. My mentor always hated things floating in the air. He's like, ground that tree and then put a shadow on it, because there's light coming from over here, so you can put your shadow down here. Shadows fade off. Little scribbles can also be blended and softened like that. So if you want your tree to be a little softer, not as harsh, you can do that. Use a blending stump or your finger, etc., etc. So practice drawing trees, and trust me, you will get better at it. There's your mini drawing lesson for today. Check me out at facebook.com, Bailey Studios, or if you got questions, just message me.